Welcome to Ascension Parish Coffee Talk, a weekly show where I talk about, normally, Ascension Parish. But this week is a little bit different. It's the anniversary of the great 2016 flood, which you hate the name. But,
I don't like the word great.
yeah, but it was one of the largest rain events that we've ever had. It was no named storm, so they had to leave it something.
Right.
I don't have any kind of personal experience with the flood other than, trying to help people, but I haven't gone through this process in the past year. But you were, my good friend Sondra was willing and very kind to introduce us to some really neat people. And our last interview was with Burt. Linda Burt, yeah. Another lady here that I met through the advocate stuff I was doing on Facebook. I mean, social media is just strong, and it's just really powerful. So I met this lady, and she just has a big heart, and we've just stayed in touch like many others that were strangers to me, total strangers, and now we're friends. And she had a lot of questions, and since the flood and how it affected me is it made me, of course it got me sad, and I went through what I had to go through, but I just wanted to get even after that. I got angry. I did. Got real angry and wanted to see what can I do to better my situation along with my parents, and so I started putting together these town meetings with different attorneys and people that were coming down. Where she saw
this is she saw me on Facebook, but this is how we really got to meet each other at all these town meetings. So
this story is different because she had flood insurance. So you really want to listen to what she's been through, because you think you're covered, you think you're good because you've got great flood insurance. You really want to sit down and really pay attention to what she has to say, because she knows what she's doing. She's a paralegal, and this has been a very difficult process. So we're going to go ahead and meet her now.
Okay, let's do it. And this is their house. As you can see, the water line was halfway of the house. And yes, they had flood insurance, and yes, it's Allstate, and yes, we have not settled with them, and yes, they haven't given us any idea of direction, and they're saying it could be 3 or 4 more months. That's what it's like to have flood insurance. All right, y'all, so I'm Sondra, and I want to introduce you to Linda Burt. Her and I, we didn't know each other, right, before the flood?
Not at all.
Never met her. She lives out here in Denham on 10 acres. How long have you been out here?
Been out here 27 years.
27 years. And so it's 1 year later, and I just want to show different people where everybody's at in their stages of their life and what's going on since the flood. You are still got it.
Correct.
How much water did you have?
51 inches.
We can see that.
On the inside, a little bit higher on the outside of the home.
Yeah, that's water just kind of flows and does its thing. So let me ask you, it's a year later. Why have you waited so long? What have you learned in this flood? Because I know you and I have been through a lot. We have. So let's let everybody know where you started at and what you were thinking.
Well, when it first happened, I want to say thank you very much for my friends and my family that came and helped me gut that weekend. If it hadn't been for them, I wouldn't even be where I'm at right now. The reason I waited is because there were just several issues about the home. It was built in '77. It was at that time considered grandfathered in, or so we thought.
So grandfathered in as in
before the flood maps.
Before the flood maps, because when the flood maps got overraised or got overlapped, then your flood insurance, you were going to be what, AE? I mean, what flood zone are you? You still AE?
I'm still AE.
Still AE. It's just your insurance wasn't going to go up, right?
Correct, because it was considered grandfathered in.
Okay, all right.
That was in '77 that the home was built. I believe in '79 is when FEMA came in and did the flood maps, and then in 2012 redid the flood maps.
Yep.
Now I'm 2 feet below.
2 feet below BFE, which is base flood elevation.
is what the maps say, and then when they updated it in 2012, that put you 2 feet below.
The home is at 19.97 and base flood elevation is 22 feet now.
Oh, Lord.
So
what does that mean?
It means, well, that's what I didn't know for the longest time, and I could never get a good answer from, unfortunately, from FEMA.
Right.
I mean, I went back to the recovery center week after week after week, trying to get answers for a lot of different things, and
Do they have any answers for you?
no, still to this day, no. I tried
1 year later, and FEMA still don't have an answer for you.
not whether or not I have to raise the home.
Okay.
I wasn't going to clean the house up. I gutted it, I sprayed for mold. We had dehumidifiers in here for a month or better.
Because how long did the water stay in here?
The water stayed in the home for 5 days.
So you were able to get to it, let's just say a week later. You was
A
able
week
to
later.
finally get to your home.
It started flooding on Saturday afternoon, and I came back in the home, came back here about Wednesday afternoon.
Wow.
And I still have water in the house.
Wow. So you had flood insurance,
I did.
and they only said you can only get X amount, which you didn't get your flood policy limits, because you should have, because you're gutted all the way to the top. When you sit and look at it, you have to gut all the way to the top,
Right.
because you got to remove it like that. So where are you at with your insurance and trying to get your supplement? What's going on with that?
The adjuster came out the weekend that my family and I was here, the weekend after the flood, and I can't even begin to describe what that was like. But basically, I had a $250,000 policy. Reason being is that I had a pre-flood appraisal at over the 250.
Okay.
A pre-flood appraisal that appraised the home at the maximum or over the 250,000.
Okay.
So I was required, because I had a mortgage at the time, I was required to have the maximum coverage of 250,000.
Right.
I got not quite half is what the adjuster did, but the adjuster did not allow for that brick wall back there. That's one thing. He said that was out of his realm of expertise, and then I had to get my own appraisal on that. We have gypsum board that has to be removed because it's a brick home on the outside, and he didn't allow for that.
Right, because you're supposed to really remove the bricks to get to all the gypsum board to cut it out, to
Right.
put back the sheathing and everything else back in there.
He just came in and estimated the damage on the inside and told me at the time that there were different things that I needed to get on my own. Appraisals, estimates. One being removal of the gypsum board and replacing that, and the other...
It almost sounds like what good did it do to have flood insurance that you've had for 27 years. Has this place ever flooded before?
I did not live here in 1983. It's my understanding this place got like 2 inches in it.
That would be about right. My parents had gotten 11 inches in 83. That's when I graduated high school, and I was putting the home back together. And then they got a little bit over, close to 4 foot or something like that. So, yeah, this flood was very, very different and it affected many, many, many people. So then FEMA comes in or tells you it's only worth X amount and the rest of it you got to do on your own. So from there, what did you do?
On my own.
Okay, from there,
Well,
what
one
did you
of the things is after we pulled up the carpet and the ceramic tile, about 4 days later, and that was one thing my brother was really good about. He went and he checked the foundation on the inside and the slab on the outside, and I had a big crack that started just like the next day. It was not there when we pulled the carpet up. It goes all the way across the home, and it goes to the outside. You can see it on the mortar. There's a slight
Yeah, I saw
crack
that.
on
I
the
saw
outside.
that.
So the adjuster, at my request, I wanted an engineer to come in because I was uncertain about the foundation.
Well, I mean, if you had a crack that was supposed to be like this, and then what, it's like this now, and it's moved your foundation.
Right.
And it's not
plus,
a year yet.
On the outside of the home, there's chunks of brick that have fallen off of the footing of the home. And the engineer comes in, says this crack in the home is not flood related. The brick that's
Because it's existing.
concrete, right.
So it's
He
existing,
says it's a stress fracture. Well, everything that I have now learned in a year's time, stress fractures or settlement of the home happens like 10 years after a home is built.
right, because you got settlement that'll always happen with a house, no matter what, but when you have so much water, and we're looking at, a lot of water, and then it sits for a while, and you got to give it at least a good year, and you're going to see things move at all times.
Right.
So that was very smart to do all of your homework that you did.
I still haven't been given any definitive answer as to whether or not I have to raise the home if I want to repair it.
Well, we had an article come out, last week before this anniversary here of the flood. And so FEMA announced to East Baton Rouge Parish, now this is Livingston Parish, but they announced to East Baton Rouge Parish that, hey, we're going to recheck some of these areas in AE, which is what they're going to do. They're going to look and see what permits they got in the beginning. Well, I remember all in the beginning, if everybody got a general permit, you were good to go. That's what I remember.
I have a permit hanging on my door, but it's yet to be signed at my decision.
But it's just one permit. Now they're saying, oh, you need an electrical permit, then you need a plumbing permit. They never said that in the beginning. So here it is almost a year later, and they want you to do this, this, and this permit. And then I think that's what all that's going to do is they're going to come in, if you're 2 foot or below BFE, which is base flood elevation, FEMA is probably going to make you raise your house, period. We showed you a house earlier that it was raised on my street in the back that had gotten, I think, 4 foot of water in it. So the problem is, and we see this with Sandy victims in New Jersey, a whole year later, they rebuild their house, everybody's happy-go-lucky, they get their money, and then FEMA comes back within that 1 year period and says, raise it. So
and that's what I didn't want to happen to me.
And it can, and it still can.
It still can.
Nobody holds a crystal ball. I don't, you don't. So at least you come to a decision, or you've gotten a lot cleaner understanding of what you didn't jump. Because a lot of people that did put their homes back together, I see it as a real estate agent right now. They've got mold coming back.
They got mold.
Oh, they need a mold certificate. Some of your lenders are demanding that stuff now. So it's gotten a little bit more crazier and crazier. But people who had contacted me through this flood, I just wanted to come out and talk to a few different people and show the people out here where we're all at a year later. Some of us are back in our homes. Some of us have lost our loved ones. Some of us are not back in our homes. Some are still living in the FEMA trailer. Now you're in a FEMA trailer.
Correct.
And what's your deadline on that?
Technically February of next year.
Just what the other guy said. Everybody's in the same boat on that.
Yeah, but what I don't understand and what's kind of aggravating is that it's supposed to be 18 months from the day of the flood.
Right, August 13th.
But I didn't get in the FEMA trailer till January this year, 6 months after everybody else.
And the last guy we just talked to, or that we spoke to, was Mr. Pence. And he didn't get his FEMA trailer, as we learned, I think it was February of this year. So FEMA puts these rules and laws and regulations down. What are they going to do? I mean, what do you feel is going to happen come February if you haven't done anything? Are they going to take the trailer? Or are they going to let you buy it out? Or I don't know.
I had someone from FEMA contact me a little over a month ago saying that they had a few select few, as they put it, to let us be able to have the option of buying these trailers. And they were trying to rush me into signing the paperwork, and I just didn't want to do it. And then when we get certified, we have somebody come out once a month who recertifies, who comes and looks at everything to sit and talk to us.
And they're just trying to see where you're at.
To see where we're at and what we're going through and what process we're in. And they recertify us each month in the trailer. And I was concerned that if I agreed to buy the trailer, that I wouldn't get certified in it. That's what my concerns were. Well, when I asked the lady that comes out with the recertification, I asked her about the process of purchasing the trailer, and that lasted maybe 2 weeks, and they cut that off. They said there was, from what I understand, there was liability issues with FEMA.
Of you buying a trailer from them?
Buying a trailer and still keeping it on the property.
Now, what difference does that make? Wait. So if it's already on your property, I know you had to sign paperwork saying we could have ingress and egress, which means in and out of the property. FEMA makes you sign that when they put it on here, so they can come in and out.
They were auctioning off a whole bunch of trailers over there at the Sherwood lot.
That's right.
And people could bid on it and things like that, because a friend of mine, their daughter bid on a trailer and she got it. But it had something to do with the liability of purchasing the trailer and keep it on the,
that don't make any sense
grounds, because of potential of some trailers may not have been up to the required height for the area for the flood map.
Okay, but see, now I'm gonna say timeout, and I'm gonna call BS on that, because I'm gonna tell you why.
Well, that's what they told me.
Well, yeah, that's what
and
they
so
gonna
now
tell you.
they have stopped that program.
See, in order to put this trailer up on your property, and this is on everybody's property, they had to go off the BFE and put it above what it's supposed to be. So I know that trailer, that FEMA trailer,
it's 44 inches.
It's above that BFE.
Correct.
So they just blew smoke up you to get you off, because I think it's retarded. I think it's all a government play, and I think people want to just get more money. And I think whoever is in charge, our governor or whoever is in charge of these state bids that go in and out of these trailers, the thing of it is, it's already here. So now they got to pay somebody to take it off. Find you where you gonna live at? In a dog kennel? I mean, where you gonna live at? And then they're gonna take it to Sherwood Forest, and they're gonna bid it, they're gonna auction it off, and then you can go back and buy it and bring it back. Sounds like an extra expense. Sounds like FEMA's trying to make extra money and make you spend extra money. I don't know. That just sounds cray to me. But it's FEMA. It's our government. It's our government.
That's what they told me about they called me. I had a lady call me, I know, twice a day for 3 days in a row, trying to get me to sign off on, and I said, well, I don't know if I want to purchase the trailer. She said, well, it's a process. We can at least get the paperwork started for you.
Oh, so they're all about the paperwork, their process, their deadlines, and then now that it's come and gone, you're still.
And then when I did inquire about it, just to randomly inquire, just to see, then I was told that the program was no longer available.
Lord. So where are you now? Where do you want to be at now? Where are you now?
I would like to, technically I would love to repair the home, but it's just, it's not an option for me. There's just too many unknown certainties as to, mainly as to, number one, the structure, the foundation,
because the last couple of engineers have come out,
right,
they tell you this is not structurally sound to put back together.
Correct. So
if you knock it down, then you got the expense of hauling it off, which is going to run you between $10,000 and $20,000 for somebody to demo it and take it out of here. So you got that expense, and nobody else has got that. And then you've got to build up the ground and then get it above 2 foot above BFE, and then you can stay on your property. Or you can sell your property, or maybe you can buy the FEMA trailer. I don't know, it's just quick.
Well, that's why I didn't want to even entertain the idea initially about the FEMA trailers, because I'm in an 8 foot wide FEMA trailer, which is really 7.5, close to 7 feet on the inside.
I've seen it. It's a skinny mini one. Yeah. I've seen it.
But it's a home. It is a place for, and I'm grateful for that. I am going to say I'm grateful for that. So it's enabled me to be able to stay on the property, get the property cleaned up,
and keep it up. You got 10 acres here.
Correct. Yeah.
You got 10 acres here. This is a lot to keep up for a single lady. I mean, it just is. So let's just kind of look at the house and just kind of show you through, because this is what, a 4-bedroom?
3-bedroom.
3-bedroom.
3-bedroom, a great room, an extended kitchen, and a utility room big enough to be a bedroom.
I know, that's a huge utility room. Okay, so I like the stove.
Yes, that was one of the...
It's kind of rusted out now, but hey, I still like it.
Old wood burner?
It's a wood burning stove, and I'll tell you what, you can crank this sucker up and it will keep the whole house warm in the wintertime.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my biggest disappointments in the home, is the possibility of losing that.
Yeah. So you can kind of just, look through. There's no reason to really walk through, because you're just, she has a very much of an open floor plan now. You can just kind of walk through anything you want. playing. But really, that's how you have to look at it. That's how I look at it after the flood. You know, look at the floor plans you got going on. And there it is. There's the rest of the property. It's beautiful, look. It's beautiful. It's all cleared.
All cleared, and it goes all the way over to that house trailer to the front. It's got a lot of road frontage.
Everybody that flooded had different types of water. My parents had an orange water, was backup of a sewer plant that's in some of these subdivisions. You're not in a subdivision. You had a little bit. You're in a rural area.
Right, we have
So you're-
septic tanks out here.
Yeah.
But I'm lower down, so everything's got to come downstream. And from what I understand, we had what they call grade 3 water.
Great. That's what I was wondering. She would know. She's been investigating for a long time now, a year if you look
The
at it.
chemical smell was unbelievable when you walked on the property.
Really?
You couldn't for months when I was cleaning all this up, pressure washing and scrubbing and everything else for months. Just a little bit of mud, dirt, even soiled water that would backsplash on me would burn my skin.
Oh, wow. Wow, you had some really different water. Yeah, my parents, we had to wear gloves and suits and different stuff because it was just nasty. At my house, I don't know what grade I had, but I just know that after I had put my home back together and was cleaning up, did you experience like new bugs? I mean, like I experienced something called a sheetrock. I call it a sheetrock net. Every time they would bite me, they were a little nasty. I pop them and they were like powder. So I looked like I had a powdered sugar donut all over me.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing weird bugs now?
I am, and a huge volume of spiders that I never had.
Now you were saying about this line here. Now this wasn't the highest point in here, right? You said the front got even higher than this line right here, right?
Correct, because this part of the barn is about 2 feet higher, or at least 1.5 feet higher than just the ground.
Okay.
So this is the water line in here.
Wow.
And then when I built
That's
this
higher.
part of the barn, it's another, I want to say it's a 2 foot, it's a 2 foot footing from the front part of the barn. So this is even 2 feet high. And this is the water line here.
Yep, you can see it.
And I did not personally see it, but a neighbor stayed. He's way up in a house trailer, and he would call me and let me know what was going on. Where the rush of the water came was not coming in, but leaving. When the water receded, it literally, all of these barrels, everything you see in here, it sucked it out the door, and it sucked it all the way up to the fence in the front.
Definitely want to thank you for letting me come and talk to you.
Absolutely.
And sharing some time on here, you know, because it's I think people should know, because this happened so quick. We did not get any public notice on this, I can promise you, across the United States. President at that time was Obama, and you know, even though he declared it, the news media still did not take time to keep sharing our story.
Correct.
So that's all I'm doing. I just want people out there to see, hey, you see where this lady's at 1 year later?
And like you said,
people.
Sandra, everybody's different. Everybody got different amounts of water, and their circumstances are different.
Yours is very different. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. But yeah, really, seriously, thank you for having me on your show and talking. And it was hopefully a good experience for you that got to meet all those people. And you really got to see how we went to that house, and it was just in my neighborhood on the next street over, and it was, you know, jacked up, elevated, like they said.
The bugs were what freaked me out.
And then the last lady over at Linda, her house. I mean, look.
I had things.
She talked about the bugs too, and how the spiders. She's got unknown spiders she's never seen before. But yeah, there's some really there's some weird bugs.
There's some bugs. I was at that house and I'm like, there's things biting me through my pants. What is going on?
It's not me, it's the bugs.
I swear, it was crazy. It was crazy. Well, thank you again. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Anyway, it's pushing its way back. It's pushing its way back down Coursey. Y'all notice that's back towards Stumberg. Okay? So
I'm gonna take you over here. I gotta get in the car. This is just getting worse.